Not the Chuddle.
Chuddle. Surprise.
I have a real soft spot for evil.
Blood flying everywhere.
So good.
I'm a big boy who doesn't get scared.
Out of the mist and into the fog, it's Chuddle the Pod.
Sup, everybody, and welcome to Chuddle the Pod, a horror movie club where horror movie lovers have a feel-good time. On this show, we explore what we like or dislike in the genre we love by asking and answering the same questions about a different movie every episode. As always, we'll warn you before we enter the spoiler zone, and in this episode, we are chuddling the New York Ripper.
Quack, 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 quack.
And there it is.
There you go.
Is Ross here, or is that the New York Ripper?
You're gonna get me, copper.
That's
Sam.
pretty good.
That's pretty good, actually. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's okay. So it's not.
It's not
Again,
as easy as
It's not as easy as you think. If you think of like the duck.
So the killer in this movie talks in a duck voice.
Duck voice, right? So you automatically are going to go like, okay, I need to do either like Donald or Daffy. Would be inaccurate, to say the least. It's more just a weird, high pitched with occasional quacking interluded into.
Interrupted, like a
We'll get there, but you know,
duck Tourette's type of thing.
yes.
If your Tourette's made you quack. Okay, so Ross is here. Brian, of course, is not here, but we still love him.
In spirit.
We love him in spirit. In reality, we'll think about it. And before we continue, we are going to take this moment to thank our coven of patrons. Your sacrifice gives us life, and we thank your beautiful souls. Club dues are only $3 a month, and patrons get a witch name and a sticker when they sign up. They get access to an exclusive channel in our Discord, all of the patron catalog of episodes, old episodes not in the feed anymore. We even put out the occasional patron-only episode. And of course, you get the warm, gooey feeling in the cockles that only comes from supporting the show.
Good.
Now, with all club members present and the coven avowed, it's time to crack open that goo book and officially begin tonight's meeting.
Give me that goo. Oh, yeah.
Let's do some lines. We got our taglines and our log lines. Let's hear them. First, log line. A burned out New York City police detective teams up with a college psychoanalyst to track down a vicious serial killer, randomly stalking and killing various young women in the city.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, accurate.
Accurate. Yeah.
I mean,
A little more accurate than the movie, but yeah.
Yeah. But that would be the log line, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely.
You ready for the taglines?
Let's give me some of those tags.
We got 4 of them.
Okay.
New York City, : It's a nice...
New York City's colon.
New York City. It's a nice place to visit, but you wouldn't want to die there.
Oh my God. That had to have been an executive. Like, I don't think
That's
I don't think
so
I don't
bad.
yeah, I don't think Fulci would. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't think that
It doesn't... It wouldn't shock me that he would have a tagline like this.
like that.
Based on his films that I've seen. I think
Yeah,
this is
that's
like
true.
my 5th Fulci movie. All right, next one. Slashing up women was his pleasure. It's accurate.
It's accurate. It's we're getting better.
It would be better, much better than the last one.
Because it is almost like a exploitation film. So like
absolutely, yeah.
I could definitely see that pairing nicely with that sentiment.
Yeah,
so.
this is a gross one. Sleazy.
It's sleazy. That's a great word for it.
Yeah. Someone's taking a big slice out of the Big Apple. Good. Probably better than the movie deserves.
Yeah, I was gonna say, or that's the tagline for Home Alone 2.
Yeah, well, I suppose, but big slice.
Okay, yes, yeah. But I'm saying, think of any New York, so like a random person in New York movie, and throw that at the bottom, and it would work for any movie set in New York.
Could be a pizza movie, like you're starting a pizza franchise.
Yes. All right. Okay. All right. I like where you're going with this.
And this one is pretty great. The sickest movie ever made! !
I don't know. It would be because of some of those scenes. I think Sam would probably agree with that.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. It is one of the sickest movies ever made. No argument here.
No argument here.
When did this come out? 82. It's what was true then and true today.
Yeah.
This is for sickos. All you sickos out there, I know you're listening.
Sicko freaks. We love you.
I know you're listening. We do love you. That's it. That was the last tagline.
That's it.
Movies are made by people, and the people that made this movie is written by Gianfranco Clerici, Vincenzo Menino, and Lucio Fulci, and was directed by Lucio Fulci. What have we done? We did The Beyond. So we have covered
we've done
a
Beyond.
Fulci movie
We
on
have.
here. And I've seen the Gates of Hell trilogy.
Yep.
And what's his other really big one?
Oh, Zombie.
Yeah, that's the other one that I've seen.
Oh, you mean just that old one?
And he did I haven't seen it, but he did Don't Torture a Duckling, right?
Yes, I believe so.
I think he did.
He also did Cat in the Brain.
Yeah, he's done a ton. Prolific Italian horror giallist. Some of our key players in the film are Jack Hedley as Lieutenant Fred Williams.
I couldn't, when you saw that, I kept on thinking Mel Brooks, like Hedley Lamar.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Howard Ross as Mickey Scalenda.
Mm-hmm. Mickey.
Andrea Acciapinti as Peter Bunch. Alexandra Delicoli as Jane Lodge.
Mm-hmm.
Paolo Malco as Dr. Paul Davis. Almanta Suska as Faye Majors.
Okay.
And plenty more, but I don't know any of these people, do you?
I
don't have much to say.
No. I think for whatever reason, I thought that the professor in this was the cop in Opera.
Oh, I don't believe it is.
It's not. Although I didn't check it.
I'll double check for you.
Double check for me.
Boop, boop, boop. I'm almost positive it's not.
I don't think it is. I think there's going to be a dramatic pause for absolutely nothing. But he gave me those vibes.
Sure. Yeah. A little bit of curly hair and beard vibes.
Yes.
Well kept. Well, splurt, splurt, splat, splat. Check out the time. It's time for that.
Ooh.
It's time for the Gore.
Fatality.
On a scale of 1 to 10, Psycho to the Sadness, how gory is this film? 1 to 5 consistency, 1 to 5 intensity. Put them together for your overall Gore score. Ross, okay. I want you to lead because you typically come in higher than I do.
Now, I'm going to give, it's a Fulci movie. Like the Gore it's going to get, to me, it's going to get a 5. There is some
a 5 for what?
For intensity. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Because just like a Fulci movie, you get some fucking close up. We got some eyeball stuff,
classic
stabbing,
eye stuff,
tons
all sorts of close-ups, ripping,
and just.
I would agree with you on a 5, and it feels brutal.
Absolutely. Consistency, I don't think is going to get the full 5. I feel like the consistency for me, because it is kind of more of a crime drama with sprinkles of murder in it, I give it maybe like a 3.5.
I was going to say 3.
Okay. Yeah. Because I mean, like,
look at us.
Look at us.
Fulci bringing our Gore score together.
Yeah. Well, because it's super intense, but I think what is nice about this one, and also a few other Fulci movies, is that, like, because the Gore is so intense, you have to take beats in between those really intense Gore scenes. You know what I mean? So, like, and this is just enough time to make it not just a full-fledged splatterfest. At least there's some narrative going on.
Yeah, there is some narrative going on.
Who is the horror forward?
Starting with what subgenres does it fall into?
Giallo. Slasher. I mean, because it also...
Yeah, slasher for sure.
Yeah,
I feel like that comes hand in hand with giallo.
With giallo, because
it's the same with like murder mystery.
Yeah. honestly, it's more of a crime drama,
If gritty, sleazy
exploitation film.
exploitation. Yes. Thank
because
you.
because
That's
this
the
is
word I'm looking for.
this is two deleted scenes away from a borderline porno. So there is some intense,
And the
sexual
violence in this too.
it's
We'll get to
we'll get
some bits about it in the IMDb behind the scenes because it was how it had to be edited in different countries and things. What kind of environment is best to watch this?
This is a tough one because if
Your kids. Watch it with your kids.
watch it with your children. Never go to New York. I'm sorry. No, I think that this one it's great for, I feel this is actually a really strong proponent for like horror heads. Like if you got a bunch of friends,
Yes.
like horror heads, I would say.
Yes.
But everyone kind of like, or what you need to know before the film kind of thing is that like it is intense. Like this is not a like, well, it depends on the group of friends, but it's not a like normies. I don't feel are going
It's definitely
to,
not a normies horror movie.
no, not even close. But it is one of those like, you know, this is a great pairing with other slasher ones. If you want to do like a New York doubleheader, I think is like there's tons of horror films and giallo slasher ones about New York. Yeah, I honestly I would say with like close friends or people.
Yeah,
that,
I think with horror
yeah.
friends, it would be my best way to watch it.
Absolutely.
Is it for beginners?
I'm gonna say a hard no.
No, I'm gonna say definitely not.
Definitely not.
This is
I
when you
would
get
even
the bug
say-
for like the gore bug, and you want to
Yes.
see the most brutal shit you can.
And I think
I'm all. It's.
well, unlike a lot of the
I
other,
don't want to exaggerate it, but it is.
yeah, I mean, like, it hits a different kind of nerve.
I don't want to oversell it.
Yeah, but I think also it is. I don't think this is a good beginner one if you're trying to get into Fulci. Like, I think that like this is like
Sure.
because this one is way more, for a better choice of words, grounded in reality versus like the fantastique of like supernatural horror. And I think sometimes when you have such intense gore, I think the buffer sometimes can be the like it was a ghost or like it's the gates of hell versus a guy just murdering women.
And I think some of the reasons why it's not for beginners we'll get into in just a minute when we have a visitor. Lastly, should you know anything going into it? Probably actually the stuff that we're going to talk about when the Mothman comes fapping in.
Yeah, I think that we should just let the Mothman in so we can just kind of.
All right, that's good.
Yeah.
You stop fapping. Come on in.
Stop fapping. You cannot.
I feel like you haven't had much to say lately, so we thought we'd watch the New York Ripper.
And I've seen some shit. I mean, there are
Violence against women.
Huge.
Like obviously slashers, oftentimes women are victim and people, it's often a criticism of the genre.
yes,
And I think a lot of times it's unfair, but this would be like a poster child movie for
absolutely. Like this would be the
it is just cutting up
dictionary
women.
definition of that.
And it's sexual violence in particular. Like
Yes. Yeah.
So
This is a sexual, I guess, a different subject, a sexual slasher. It is, it's pretty intense when it comes to that. There are hints of different non-consensual sexual acts. There is tons of violence towards women. We're talking about nitty-gritty Times Square early 80s, late 70s porno theaters, gigolos, prostitutes. Like we are getting the underbelly of New York, and it is not censored. Like there is a lot, like live sex shows. There's just there's a lot. There's a lot.
If you're not into feet, like myself, this movie has one of the grossest scenes ever. Like there's all this horrific violence that we talked about. It's brutal, gore, different, whatever. I watched all that.
Glaze right over that. Totally fun.
I was looking away and squirming and closing my eyes.
Yes.
We'll get to it.
It's bad. Actually, I'm going to say that one it's non-consensual and very fucking weird.
I thought it's consensual.
I mean, not right. I mean, not really up until the last.
She's
Yes,
I think
but
she's into it. I mean, the second time I didn't watch it, so I couldn't say, but the first time I watched it, it definitely seemed that way. Let's just go ahead and buckle up.
Yep.
Spoiler zone.
Starting with IMDb behind the scenes.
The
Only
killer
got a
was an
few
actual duck.
here.
The killer was an actual duck.
Only got a few here, and we'll get some more. I think 2 more sprinkled through.
Cool.
After the film was rejected for a UK cinema certificate in 1984,
Video
Chief
nasty.
Censor James Furman ordered the original print to be re-exported back to the rights holder in Italy. This was to avoid any possible prosecution of either the UK distributor or the BBFC itself.
Holy shit.
So they were like, wait, we can't even have this here.
Guys, we can't even have this. Can't even be in our country. We need to get this out of here.
We're sending this back. This is another one, sort of video nasty British stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, and this is textbook
After-
definition of a video nasty.
Absolutely, yes. This is again what they would use in court to argue why they need to have this ban on movies.
Yes, absolutely. It's the poster
It's like,
child.
I think of the comic code. There's the I think it's Crime and Suspense 22.
Yes,
with the
severed
head. Yes.
This is that. This is
exactly. All right. After many years of being banned in Britain, the rights were purchased by UK company Vipco, who issued the film originally as an export-only VHS version under close censor and police supervision.
Wow.
When censorship laws were relaxed in the UK, it was submitted to the BBFC for a certificate in 2002 and received 22 seconds of cuts to the razor blade murder, as well as a strict guideline that the film could only be released with minimal publicity.
Oh, wow. It took until, you said 2002?
Yeah, and they cut 22 seconds of the razor blade murder.
Wow.
And they couldn't advertise that they were putting it out.
Quack, quack.
The film was then issued on VHS by Vipco, but a DVD release was canceled after some UK DVD distributors refused to stock it. Consequently, it has never been available on UK DVD until 2007 when the movie was released by Shameless Films. And this version
Shameless.
contains similar cuts, but reduced to 19 seconds instead of 22.
And I'm curious on, okay, what platform did you watch this on? I think I watched mine
Shudder.
on
It's on Shudder.
Okay,
right?
I watched mine on Pluto.
Oh, I watched mine on Shudder, so I'm pretty sure I got it all.
I mean,
I can't
pretty
imagine
sure
anything being cut.
Yeah, I don't think anything.
That
I'm in the
razor
same
blade
boat.
scene seemed significant.
Yes, and very long.
Yes. The lead role was originally offered to Catriona MacColl, who had previously starred in City of the Living Dead, The Beyond, and The House by the Cemetery.
All right.
Then there's
she read
no
this.
context explaining this, but it says she was apparently a little suspicious and turned down the offer.
A little suspicious.
Yeah,
I'm going to assume.
which is fascinating. Also, City of the Living Dead came out in 1980, Beyond came out in 81, and House by the Cemetery came out in 81. This came out in 82. So,
Oh wow, that's a lot of fucking. That's her in a lot of those. Yeah, that's a lot of output. Those movies.
She's probably like, I need a break.
Yeah, or to yeah, that's a. Or to be totally honest with you, I mean, because of its subject matter, I mean, God, she's already starring in all of those other movies. It's like, well, I don't want to be. You know what I mean? Like, unless it's kind of the main character, which I guess she never gets nude. But there's a whole lot of female nudity in this movie too, which
Sure.
probably could have been a big turnoff.
Yeah, and compared to the other movies, yeah, definitely. Jack Hadley's voice is the guy who's the lieutenant. Jack Hadley's voice is dubbed by another actor in the English language version. This is because he is a British actor, and he just spoke in his regular voice. Or
What?
actually, no, I said he just spoke in a regular voice. It says this is because he's a British actor and they needed a North American actor. But everything was done in recording studios after. So
Classic Italian dubbing.
they just didn't have the actor come back to dub it.
Yeah.
All right. Who picked it why history? We are doing Knife plus Heart. I'm not sure what order these are coming out in. So you either heard it already or it's coming out. That'll be our next episode. And I was talking to Ross. I was like, we should pick something that kind of goes with it. So, and he was like, I was like, but it's porn, giallo, and I forget what the other thing I said was.
Immediately, I was like,
oh, we should do the New York Ripper.
Have I got one for you?
And that's how we're here. What is your history with this, Ross?
I stumbled upon New York Ripper, and it was later on. I think it was probably when I first got my subscription, actually to Shudder, honestly, because a lot of titles when Shudder first came out were not available on Blu-ray or DVD in the United States. And like there were some Italian ones that just like, at least at the time, were pretty fucking hard to get. So I don't know if that but again, that was the first time I'd seen it and I was blown away. Like I was like, it's one of those rare movies where I'm like, you know, you get criticisms about watching horror movies from certain people. And then you're like, come on, it's not like that. And then I watched New York Ripper and I was like, oh, I get it now.
You see, everything looks like this to you, huh?
I was like, yeah, exactly. It's like it's splattered color glasses where I'm like, is this what you think all horror movies are?
Yeah, for sure. That said, we can go ahead and talk about this movie.
Let's do it.
We open on a man and a dog. They play fetch by the river when the dog finds a hand. Freeze frame on the hand as credits roll.
I also like the fact that in the beginning of this scene, the guy is just complaining about working a desk job. He goes, I know you got to sit around 8 hours a day, but I do the same thing. So let's just play some fetch. Let's do this. Here you go, buddy. Go get it, girl. Go get it.
Yeah. Just find like a chunk of wood and throw it in the tall grass.
Also, like, what a fucking power move, Fulci. To just pause it on a severed hand and do the entire intro credits to a just...
What would you call that? Like a 70s morning news song? What is that music?
Yeah, it's like...
it's very light.
It's very light. It's almost... that light jazz severed hand. It's weird. It's I don't know, exploitation, I guess would be the best way of putting it. Is that if you think of an exploitation film and like how the beginning of it would be just like weird funk but like light, it's like light jazz. Okay,
so and we're on that for probably a minute at least. Yeah. Now we meet our detective, Lieutenant Williams. He is interviewing the landlord of the victim that, the dog just found the hand of. Oh, yeah. And this is the first time that we get the, she goes, well, she got a call. I mean, I guess she's a prostitute, but like I don't know, it didn't seem like it. She also got this really weird call from a man who sounded like a duck. He's like a duck. He goes, yeah, we share the same line. So I just listed it. I was like, I like her just like, listen, it's okay. I don't mean to pry. Everybody is, I also really do enjoy this about New York Ripper is that every person in this movie is fallible in some which way, shape or form. Like even the detective goes to a prostitute weekly. Oh yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like everybody is kind of just in their own level of like, it's New York, baby. It's the early 80s. Too bad Brian's not here. He'd add all sorts of New York insights. Yeah. Be like, I walk by that place every day for work. Yeah. It's okay. We can ask when we eventually interview. See, now I listened to the last episode. Hotter. When we can see, he called in. Is actually. It hotter? Did he? It did. Well, we have him on speed dial. I don't listen. He did. He called into the show. It was great. We had a lot of yucks. You should listen. Maybe I will now that I know. Yeah, so the landlord tells him about the duck voice, and now we cut to a pretty young woman rides her bike through Manhattan. She's being followed. she side swipes / runs into a car with her handlebar.
This fucking scene. I'm sorry. I was thinking about Boston. It's like, what? What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, and then just like the absolute stereotypical New Yorker in the car. I don't even remember what he says. He's just like, I don't give a fuck. Get the fuck away from me, you dumb bitch. Like
a bunch of
yeah,
like dumb misogynistic shit. And she's just like, well, fuck you, and just like pedals off.
They were on their way to the Staten Island ferry. The car that was following her follows her on board the ferry as well. Then we follow her, and she finds the car that she ran into, gets inside, and writes shit in lipstick on the windshield.
Fucking shit.
Right when she finishes this, we get classic killer POV cam, so we know, oh shit, this is the killer.
Yeah.
And
shit.
He climbs in the car.
But it's not. What's kind of interesting too is that it's
she just
not
chats with him.
Just chatting. Like it honestly begins with just a casual conversation.
She's like, oh, sorry, he deserved it. So, how are you?
Yeah, and it seems like when you kind of cut back to it, like they're honestly having like a full born innocuous conversation. And then what was the tipping point? Was he like he looked at
her legs are, she's wearing really short shorts, and she was sitting with her legs spread apart, and yeah, the camera looks down at her legs, and she kind of closes them, and then is like, you know what, I should get going or something.
Yeah.
And that's when he quacks at her.
She's like, quack. Oh, stupid.
And the knife comes out. Quacks and pulls out a knife. Then I timed it when I took my notes on the second watch, because it seemed like it took so long on the first watch.
Yeah.
She tries to escape out of the car, but the car door's up against a wall, so she's just trying to get out. And the killer's right there with a knife, and she's just screaming, trying to get out for 18 seconds before the first stabbing.
Oh, wow.
It just goes and goes.
That's wild, dude. 18 yeah, that's right, because like the horn goes off and a bunch of other shit, so nobody can hear. Well, people.
Yeah, nobody hears it. Then she gets a brutal ripping, and it is brutal.
Fucking
I mean,
intense.
we see the knife like go in and tear up. Like,
all the way up.
It goes
the stabbing in the breast was so fucking
stabbing
brutal.
in the breast and carving that, stabbing in the vagina and carving up, and you see the torso as it's happening. You know, it looks like Fulci practical effects, so it doesn't look real so much, but it's still like
still packs that punch, baby.
Ugh, yeah, it sure does. Now the ferry is disembarking. I don't know what happened to the driver of this vehicle she got killed in, but I guess he has just disappeared. Because the corpse car has to get pushed off by a van behind it.
Yeah.
And then we see her bloody corpse go by. And now we meet the mortician. I don't know. Not a mortician.
Oh, my God.
The
the
county...
The medical
examiner. And he's got some lines, this guy.
Oh, God. It's hilarious, actually. There's a band... called Fulci, and there is an entire album dedicated to this film, and the first track is this monologue that he does.
Oh, really?
Yes. It's you're kind of just like, oh, okay, all right, could have done a better job if you had more time.
Yeah, it's not great, but you know, it's that sort of gallows humor,
but it's still, even in this,
thing.
The fucking examiner is also being misogynistic. It's just like very like, oh,
the girl was slashed up but not raped. Probably the same guy that did the victim that they found by the river.
Mm-hmm.
Now the lieutenant meets with the chief. The chief isn't happy that the lieutenant is saying there's a maniac on the loose. He doesn't want to cause a panic and wants to know what the lieutenant's plan is. He says he's going to see a shrink. Hopefully he can, help with the psychology to find the killer.
Yes.
Lieutenant missed a call from a guy that sounds like a duck. He's told by the person.
Why
working the
have
police
I
desk.
heard? How
like
have I
a
heard
duck.
that?
Where have I heard that before? And it's like, oh,
You mean
like maybe 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I know movie time. This may have been longer, but for the audience, just have them know or don't do it.
That is a slight problem here too. Is that like there are significant jumps in like days and weeks in this that are not addressed. It's just kind of you just have to sit back and enjoy the ride.
Because we do know that this is a few weeks later because the medical examiner was like, I think it's the same person that did the Girl by the River a few weeks ago. Yeah. But still, it's just so dumb. And a lot of this movie is enjoyable and fun and dumb. I have so many hang-ups though. So now he goes to meet the psychiatrist / whatever he is. I guess psychoanalyst is what it said in the log line. And he is playing chess against a computer, but it's like a computerized chessboard that has lights on it that blink.
Yes. Where I'm like, who are you playing, dude? Tell me, who is Kafka? Tell me.
So he asks him for help. The doc wants to be paid for it.
Handsomely.
Yeah. He's like, okay, we'll pay you. We need to do this.
Yeah, sorry, bro. We actually have to do this. So it is also that weird thing. He goes, well, we just got to sit around and wait till she kills again, or he kills again.
Yeah, that's what he says. So he goes, all right, give me all the data. I'll analyze it. And then we wait for him to do it again, he says with a smile. Now we get the POV shot, which we know is the bad guy shot. And
quack.
It reveals our bad guy. He's missing 2 fingers on his hand. And he is going into a live sex show.
Dirty dog.
At the end of the row he sits in, a woman dressed like Carmen Sandiego sits alone and watches the show.
It's so accurate.
She pulls out a tape recorder and rubs one out.
Yeah.
And this lasts, 2 to 3 minutes probably? It goes on for a while.
On top of her rubbing one out, she's watching 2 people having sex.
Yeah.
It's a live sex show.
Recording the audio of herself and the sex show.
Yeah. So she's like masturbating and then also kind of like, this weird half and half where it's very weird. You get introduced to a bunch of characters in the scene at the same time and you have absolutely no idea why they're connected to each other in any which way, shape, or form.
Our killer bad guy seems to be eyeing her in the tape and seeing what she's up to.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now the show is over. We follow the female sex performer back to the dressing room, and we see that Carmen Sandiego has left her seat.
It's also...
Oh, by the way, she is referred to that the entire time in my notes.
Carmen Sandiego? That's where... Oh, God.
She goes some... she goes some dirty places.
She goes some fucking...
She's a little
really,
freak.
Absolutely.
She's a freak in the sheets and a freak in the streets.
Obviously, if you're listening to us, you've probably seen this movie. Did you see? Unlike Argento in Deep Red, plays his hand and shows you the killer. Is the killer in the theater? I never actually went back for my third viewing because I actually thought about this before recording. Our actual killer in the theater when we get, because there is a panning shot of all these people.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
Maybe. Let us know, you dirty dogs. Go back to that porno theater.
It's Fulci, I doubt it.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
So she's left her seat. Now the lady who was performing the sex show goes to her dressing room. There's no light bulb. It's been broken. She's in the dark.
What row?
She goes and uses a lighter for some light. Then she walks across the room, cuts her foot on the broken light bulb.
Oh, God damn it.
Another performance has started in the sex show, and we see that the bad man has left his seat too.
Ta-da!
Our performer, the one who's in the dark dressing room with the cut foot, gets quack attacked by a broken wine bottle in the hoo-ha.
Oh, God, so gross. So awful. Bad. Because this mind you, now it is a Fulci film. So like when we get deaths, they are up close insanely graphic. Like this one, you legitimately see the bottle stab into her pelvic vagina region and then profusely just start bleeding out.
Mm-hmm.
As he's like
times.
As he's like twisting
breaking the bottle in there. Yeah.
Good gravy. And even after the because it's all in like a green light or something like that. It's all bathed in like an offset green light. Because like even after he leaves, she's like, oh dude, like her whole nether regions are completely on display and like graphically mangled.
Blood. Yeah. It's awful.
It's just weird. I was like, oh, they showed that. Oh wow. That's actually this is a quintessential movie of wow, I can't believe they showed that. Holy shit, I can't believe they showed that. Like that is most of like my first time viewing of Ripper. I was like, I can't believe
we're beginning to sound like the BBC censors over here.
Yeah. But in a not in a bummed out way. It's more of this like, holy shit. Like, cause I've seen a bunch of other giallos. I've seen other ones where I'm like, okay, it gets graphic, but this goes like, this is one floor higher.
Well, and I know
always
that
delivers one floor higher when it comes to gore.
He does. And I know a lot of the genre because I haven't seen a ton because of this is that I've heard a lot of the genre is kind of like this movie. So I need it more like a Argento Bava style.
Yes.
Still violent, but just
got a little more.
This one just makes me feel dirty.
Man. We're talking about dirty New York, bro. This is weird. Yeah, this is a weird.
And I guess other Fulci stuff has that feeling to it too. It's just the content to this one makes it so much more difficult.
Absolutely.
So the chief gets a wake up call. He's wherever he is at this prostitute's house. He gets a wake up call from the killer, and the killer's calling about the latest murder, quacking away, and like, oh yeah, just did another one. It seems like this phone call, the way they do it, is supposed to be scary, but the voice is just so insane. It's ludicrous. It's not even necessarily funny. It's just kind of like, what am I watching right now?
Hi there, Mr. Cop. Quack, 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 quack.
But I think when you realize what the origin of it is, like, it's weird. It makes more sense to me when it comes full circle and you realize that it's supposed to be like a voice used to entertain a child, because it just sounds cartoonish.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
I don't know that makes it better. Like, I feel like it's maybe a cool idea, and then you start doing it and you're like, no, that doesn't work.
Yes, but no one told the actor, no, that doesn't work.
Yeah, that's my thoughts on it. It is.
No,
I mean, it's entertaining. It's just crazy. It's a crazy choice. But how did the killer know the lieutenant was at the prostitute's place?
You know what? I'm also curious on that, because they don't actually explain that.
No,
they don't.
But they bring it up as a question.
They do. Yeah, it is posed the question. Well, it also feels like you're because they bring up the fact that like the killer is supposed to be highly intelligent and is intentfully toying with the police. Like he wants attention. He wants to, you know what I mean? But what better way to stalk one of the lead cops in the homicide of the last one? Yeah. And then, you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like forcing their hand, as in like, oh, well, he doesn't know who I am. Well, I'm going to contact him, and he sure as shit's going to know who I am after this.
Well, now we meet Carmen Sandiego's husband. He is sitting in a chair, rubbing the tape recorder and staring into the distance when he's interrupted by her. They both seem to have plans to fuck other people that night. I
think he's just going to sit. He looks like he's about like 3 sneezes away from death. So like, it just seems like, go enjoy yourself. Get railed, honey. I'll just keep another cassette in this drawer that's overflowing with the sounds of you masturbating.
Yeah. So they, at the scene, wait, where are we? She leaves, and he takes the little cassette tape and drops it in a drawer full of cassette tapes.
Fucking full of them.
And who knows what she's doing in those, because we know she likes to do all sorts of things.
Get around, get around. She gets around, yeah, get around. Ooh.
Okay, so now the doctor has been listening to tapes of the duck guy? Is that right? I don't know
guess
how.
So, like, see, again, I think there's
because this is when he has the theories on him that he's smart, self-controlled, intentionally provocative.
Yeah. So at this point, there has to be, correspondence with the police other than the communicado.
What we've seen and
Yes.
at the police station
But
where they
we're
could have
not
recorded it.
privy to that. Yeah, I feel like this is, man, I always chalked it up, honestly, because of all the stories that I'd heard about this movie. I just thought that there were just weird editing choices because this is just the cut that we got after so long because it was chopped and screwed by so many different countries and stuff.
Mhm.
But that's probably not the case. It just seems that like it's this sounds harsher than how it's going to come out. It reminded me of an X-rated Law and Order SVU. As in, like, they glazed through a lot of stuff that I thought they would actually try to cover in a full-length feature movie, but they're like, no, we got his voice recordings. How did you get those? Don't fucking worry about it. Move over.
Sure. Yeah. Carmen Sandiego goes to a bar with Latin men in it, and she is clearly there because she wants one of these guys to assault her.
Yeah, but the problem, okay, so that's the only pushback I'm going to have on that is that, like, in the auspice of the two guys' perspective, none of it was consensual until she kind of said, like, you like this, and then that's the gag when pulling the chair out, is that all of this was pretty much sexual assault until this, like,
But I think she went there for that reason.
I don't know, but then they never explain it because, like, this isn't like she doesn't know these two guys.
No, I know, but, like, to me, it gives off, like, it's a weird thing to talk about, and I don't feel comfortable talking about it, but to me, her whole vibe as soon as we were in there was giving me, like, rape fantasy, and I was afraid we were going to get something really bad along those lines.
Yes.
Instead, one of them toe fucks her under a table till it gets flipped over and she leaves.
Oh, you mean good old silver toes?
I've never like squirmed and looked away so much because it's like you see the feet, it's going like you watch the whole build up and then it like move the panty and it's showing.
Oh, it shows it. I mean,
all but the penetration.
Yeah.
And it goes on and on and on, and it fucking grossed me out. If you're a new listener, feet stuff grosses me out, and this is the grossest foot thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad, and it's a non sequitur, as in, like, this does not have any point position in the plot. So this doesn't advance it.
On my first watch after this scene, I was like, so why the fuck did we have to watch this? I was like, she must be the killer and she's wearing some fucking duck costume under the trench coat. That was like my immediate thought. Because yes, there's absolutely no reason for it to be in here.
It's a tough one. It's one of those weird, it's like, and it's not on the same ballpark because I feel
if you're into feet or don't have a problem with foot stuff, then it probably doesn't bother people as much as it bothers me, but goddamn, I didn't watch it on my note-taking watch. I can't really speak to that scene too well either.
Totally. No. It's it almost gave me vibes of not as intense or as bad because in like I Spit on Your Grave, like the OG one, like there is some incredibly brutal, like there is it's 45 fucking minutes. You know what I mean? Like it's an incredibly brutal scene. It's just that, like, I don't know if it's in the intent of Fulci where it's like you're intentionally doing it to make the audience uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. And then at what point is that breaking point? And apparently it was a big toe.
Man, the subway looked different in 82. Oh, just wait. We're at the subway scene and everything is so covered in graffiti.
Oh yeah,
And I was like, New York was crazy.
New York was fucking crazy, and
It's
it is.
so
and it's
nice
just,
now.
it does really. I mean, it's a great. New York Ripper does a great job of actually showing the reality of being in New York City at that time.
At that time.
Of just the crime and the grunge and the fucking just everything is just over the top. Everything is getting exploited.
Yeah. Our bad man is in a train car with a pretty young blonde. They have a tense scene, but as he closes in on her, they arrive at the next stop and she runs away. He calmly follows her. When she stops to catch her breath, she hears a man say "Faye" behind her.
Faye.
And then she sees a shadow and runs. So now I'm really onto this whole Carmen Sandiego is the killer wearing a duck costume thing, because if this guy just said Faye, he's not talking like a duck. So he is a red herring. And she must be the killer. I was on that for a while.
You were on that for a minute. Well, it's also that weird one where it took me, I think probably the second or third time watching it, going like, how would you know the name?
He had to already have been like
stalking her or something around those lines. You know what I mean?
Well, no, he definitely would know the name because.
Well, yeah, because of who
what
he
we
is.
find out at the end.
Yes,
the person he was getting. He's not actually the bad guy. He is a red herring, and he was getting victims for a killer to be revealed later.
Well, no, he wasn't getting.
Wasn't he acquiring the victims for?
No, he was. I think he was kind of like he was kind of probably a patsy. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's all it was?
Yeah. He wasn't. I don't think so. I could be wrong on that. I don't know.
I thought that somebody said that at some point. But honestly, I was so confused. My first watch, I didn't even really understand what happened because the duck voice was so hard to understand.
Yeah.
So she runs away from him behind her. He just called out her name a couple times. She runs off straight into a quack attack, but she only gets stabbed once.
Gotcha.
The second one chinks off some stone pillar next to her.
What a great, you know what? I usually yell at
escapes.
Foley artists. What a great, just
Chink.
it was great. It was fantastic.
She limps towards the light, and suddenly she is watching a movie in an empty theater. She is clearly in pain when hands grab her legs, and then she is cut up she gets out of the chair, runs down the aisle, and some new guy appears with like a barber's razor and slices her up a good amount and then slices her throat. She screams awake in a hospital bed. The man who killed her enters the hospital, passes the doctor and lieutenant, the psychoanalyst and lieutenant in the hall, and goes to her room. And surprise, it's actually her boyfriend, husband guy.
Friend? Oh, you mean boyfriend, husband guy?
I don't really understand.
It's like, yeah, I don't know if it's, they're together,
Yes.
but I don't think they're married.
Well, and he's married to someone else, I think. We'll find out later.
Yeah.
They talk about the tech, and then she tells him that in the nightmare that she had, where she was in the movie theater and was killed, that he was the one that murdered her. And so now we're like, oh, okay. I guess we had just jumped into a nightmare and then cut to here.
Yes. Yeah. You're kind of like, wait, what?
Mm-hmm. Outside, doctor and lieutenant think that this victim can give them a break in the case because now they have a description of the supposed killer. And the missing the two fingers thing should help a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Carmen Sandiego pays our mystery bad guy $200 cash and they get a hotel room.
Just a gigolo.
Yeah. Now, Faye thinks she had a dream about husband killing her because of the terrible things she said about Susie, is something she says to him. And it's not really explained. It will come up later, but it's still not really like explained.
Which I feel that they should have introduced, or maybe you would have just gotten it too quickly if you had introduced Susie this early on in the movie. But that is kind of a key thing to not really discuss.
Bad guy ties Carmen Sandiego to the bed. She has the tape recorder going. He teases her. And then he turns up the music and goes to make a phone call. So we can't hear him talking while he's on the phone. We're supposed to, I think, oh, is he using a duck voice right now? He must be doing a duck voice.
It's weird watching it with subtitles because he's like, yeah, man, you can come over. She's really hot to go. And you're like, who's he calling?
So my second watch, I watched with headphones and I could hear most of everything he said clearly. And I could actually understand what the duck voice was saying.
Ooh.
Now, for no reason at all, we see our psychoanalyst thumb through a gay porn mag, but pick out a different one, buy it, and leave. It's just like, oh, and also, this character's gay.
Here's your newspaper.
Which I feel like that does happen in a lot of giallos, where they're just like, and here's some gay character. For no real reason. We're not going to make a big deal of it. It's like kind of woke in a way, but it's also not, because it's not necessary.
It's I do like the fact that there's no gay bashing or anything like that.
No,
because of the
and
character. It's never really addressed. Again. You know what I mean? I think it's that I do really appreciate that in certain giallos where it's just like the character just happens to be gay. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, and I think that's what it's, again, it creates that nice elevated horror where
for
you're
all the misogyny they do,
right?
The LGBTQ is often represented well, even like trans characters.
Oh yeah.
At least they're not, it's not poorly.
Yeah.
All right, move on. I'm sure there's plenty of examples where that's not true. I just haven't seen them. Back in Carmen Sandiego's room, she's tied up and naked with lashes on her, looking like she enjoyed herself. And he's passed out next to her when on the radio she hears a warning about the Ripper and a description of him.
Hey, like,
Ripper. Oh, fuck, that's this guy.
You two-fingered weirdo. Stop hurting them ladies. Now here's the next jam. I was like, God damn it, dude. I was like, how are you going to have a Warriors,
yeah, right?
DJ
totally.
Submit it.
That's what all New York DJs were at the time.
Yeah. They were the harbingers of doom.
Mm-hmm. She manages to untie one hand, and he appears to wake up, but doesn't. She unties the other hand and flees. But she runs into the duck and gets murdered in the hallway.
What was up with the fucking... him just like wide awake, or not wide awake, but him just eyes wide open.
Well, it seemed like he woke up. He because he ran his hand across her, up to her throat, and we're like, oh no. And then he lets his arm down, and we see him, and his eyes are open, but then they just close again.
Yeah.
So
it was just the sexual experience was just that intense. He woke up and then he just blacked out.
The lieutenant interviews Carmen Sandiego's husband and plays a tape for him. One of the sex tapes. The tapes were able to get an idea on the bad guy through the tapes. They're somehow able to figure out
because he
who
says
he
his
is.
name or something like that. She says his name.
No, they brought it to the sex show place and they were able to ID him.
Oh, okay.
Because they were able to find out what sex show it was or something. So they go to Mickey Scalenda's, tear his place apart, but he's not there. Just some lady that's freaking out and a ton of porn, including a poster of a naked picture of himself posing in front of a Marilyn Monroe poster.
That's
Did you catch that one?
Yeah, that's so fucking funny to me.
Amazing.
It's also like, I don't know what he does. I just do this. He hasn't paid rent. What do you guys want from
I haven't
him?
seen him in forever. Oh, is that what I missed the rent line? I did not know what her relation to him was.
I think they're supposed to be together or roommates or some shit. I have no idea.
Yeah, I could not figure it out. They find needles and a pipe that looks like a cock and balls.
This guy really likes sex.
Yeah. the Faye and her husband returned home from the hospital. I guess she was trying out for the Olympics or something, and her husband is not worried about the injury in her training, but he's more worried about her mind if she had this nightmare because she's like prone to hallucinations.
Yes, there's like this whole subplot of her like legitimately having like hallucinations, mental breakdowns, things like that. And I'm assuming it's supposed to give the viewer an idea of possibly that she's the Ripper, but they don't do it hard. They don't push
go
into
at that
hard
angle
enough.
other than the fact that she has hallucinations.
Yeah, like it makes it more, I guess, more confusing than anything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Where
there's
you're like,
a lot that's not really that clear.
yeah, exactly.
The the psychoanalyst visits them, and he asks them if he's certain the guy that attacked her was Mickey Scalenda. Just needed to make sure.
Looks, yeah. He although he does that. See, it's funny because he does that like thing to the physicist. He's like, oh yeah, right. No, okay, great. I'll see you later. Got more to say on that one? Well, it's because the Mr. Genius knows that the MO of this killer does not mesh with
that's
the psychological profile. Okay, yeah.
We see Mickey talking on the phone but can't hear him. So again, we're supposed to think he's using the duck voice. Faye and boyfriend ? Seems super in love. He leaves and she suddenly gets very serious and looks upstairs dramatically when we cut to the doctor and lieutenant. Oh, that was the other thing. When they first get there, they talk about like she's so happy to be there again, as if she lived there at one point and has not
for a minute or something like
anymore.
That. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, unclear.
Don't know, baby. Oh, sorry. No, that's okay. All right, I'll figure it out.
You got it. The doctor thinks that Faye is holding out on them. This is when he's talking to the lieutenant. There's too many holes in her story. He also doesn't think Mickey is the guy. He thinks the person making the calls was a sophisticated family man.
Yeah, there's
not some gigolo.
Not some gigolo. Yeah, it's a difficult one because I think that honestly, I think the subversion of the dream and things like that, like she knows that he's the killer. And I think that like it is just kind of this, she absolutely knows. And I think she probably saw his face. It ends up being
that her husband's the killer.
Yeah. But it's this weird, like, again, it's very aloof where you're like, is she having like a psychotic blockage or like, is it because of the trauma that happened or this? They don't really go into that because they really do bank on the fact you're like, it's either one of them is the Ripper. You know what I mean? And they try to make you think of that up until the end.
Yeah. So now they lean more into her later now that I'm thinking of it. So now Faye goes upstairs and she opens the door to what appears to be a little girl's room. While she's upstairs, a window breaks and we see a 3-fingered hand reach inside to unlock the window.
Oh, shit.
She then finds hospital bills and he cuts the power.
Fuck.
She hides, but he catches her. But her man, friend, boy, guy arrives and the baddie lets her go.
Is that on his official business card?
Yep.
Never fear, it's me, more boyfriend, man, friend guy.
As the baddie takes off, he knocks the man friend down the stairs as he passes him.
And like knocks his ass cold too.
Yeah. Man friend and Faye give their statement to the lieutenant and both look up the stairs when he exits. Lieutenant gets a call at the station in some sort of special phone lab, like like people in lab coats and just machines everywhere. But I get it's tracing is what they're going to be doing,
and not as sophisticated as Black Christmas.
No. They get a location at a phone booth, but it's empty with a walkie-talkie talking into the phone. Now, this is my my parentheses here. Not sure how the lieutenant was able to drive there while the duck was on the phone and expected him to be there. But
yeah, well, this
like,
is that weird.
he's like,
play.
send all available units there, and then next thing we know, he's the first one showing up.
Yeah, it's a difficult one for me because it's like, honestly, I'm glad he played it as a person. I guess would be the best way of doing it, because you're also in a position because you don't know if this guy's married or not married. They don't really go fully into that, and the fact that like he's at, is it Kitty's apartment? Kitty.
The prostitute?
Yeah.
Kitty,
yeah. So like he's getting the phone call and he's talking, and then like you realize that like, especially in the scene where he opens it up, he's like, oh shit. I know who this is. I'm gonna slice up Kitty. It's like, not only is he going after prostitute, but there's also this weird split second for me that like, oh my God, what if he just like says he doesn't know where this woman is? Because he immediately gives the address. Like he knows where it is. You know what I mean?
So both times I watched this, I did not get that that's the prostitute. I thought it was our main girl.
Oh.
And the first time I thought it was her having a hallucination.
Oh, word. Okay, yeah. Oh, this is the cop special lady.
But so they get to the phone booth, not there. Now we are at now we're at a blonde's place, but not our blonde, I guess. So it's the prostitute that he sees.
Yeah.
And
Holy
this is when we get
shit.
an absolutely brutal razor death. Slicing the bodies, slicing the nipple, slicing the eye.
God, the eyeball.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. Oh, goo. Surprised on how sharp that just razor blade. Like it wasn't a razor knife. We're talking about just a handheld shaving razor blade.
Like a box cutter.
Just disembowels, slices this woman, and cuts through her fucking eyeball. When that happens, every time, I've probably seen this movie like 3 or 4 times. Every time I've seen this movie, I just do that. Oh, God damn it. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. It's brutal.
Yeah.
Now, so I knew it was a character named Kitty, but I still didn't know that was the prostitute because of this next IMDb behind the scene. Kitty's death by razor blade was originally longer and more gruesome. Why the extra violence was cut is unsure, but images found on the Japanese DVD cover confirm that more gore was filmed.
Oh.
Which is crazy. We should look up the Japanese DVD cover.
We should look up.
Cop races there, and the lieutenant races to her place, runs up a fire escape, is absolutely fucking toasted by the time he gets to the top. He's like, cannot breathe. Finds her sliced up corpse, and it's bad. She's
bad, dude.
Yeah. And in some ravine near the city, we see Mickey's dead body. Now he is being examined by the coroner. He tells the lieutenant that he died 8 days ago. Lieutenant says that can't be because
Kitty was killed 4 days ago.
Yeah.
Which is also weird because, okay, they never explain what happened to him. Everything that I have read is that he killed himself with the bag. And then it's so blurry for me because like
they say
he killed himself.
Yeah. They say they think he killed himself.
Yeah. Which is also that like, are you just doing that because he's a gigolo or like, but it is one of the, yeah.
Well, no, they say that because they knew that the murders would be pinned on him, that he killed himself because he didn't see a way out of it.
Yeah, that's true.
Put a bag over his head. But there's lots of stuff like that, though, also where they say one line once that's kind of supposed to, summarize a whole
well, that sums that
bit
up.
of plot. Yeah. The lieutenant visits the doctor. The doctor thinks Mickey did attack Faye, but then commit suicide thinking he was blamed for the other murders. They discuss the psychology of the killer and whether or not what the psychology would be for a man or a woman. So again, putting us between
the two. Yeah.
Faye is in a hospital looking at a sick blonde girl that has had her leg and arm amputated. A nurse is reading her a children's story that involves quacking. I thought for sure that this was a hallucination when we saw it. Because it's also suddenly, all of a sudden, we're just seeing this.
Yeah. It does really read as like
she just watches them.
Watching herself you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you also like this little girl's fucked up, man. Like I felt so bad for this little girl. She's got an arm and a leg missing, and she
looks sick, like
really bad. Yeah. And they said but the father doesn't visit her anymore.
That comes later.
Okay. Yeah.
Nothing is said in this scene. We don't know who any of these people are other than Faye. Faye walks by the spot she was attacked and has flashbacks of the knife clinking off the wall, and it seems like they're trying to do it almost to set up like, oh wait, did I attack myself?
Yeah, right. Did I slash myself?
Yeah. The doc says that Faye is super smart but prone to hallucinations. Blah, 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 blah. She is the main suspect. The lieutenant has had her followed all day long because he was already on to her. She is back home with her man guy, husband, boyfriend. Lieutenant and doctor talk to a sick kid's nurse. One parent is in Brazil and the other pays everything but never visits. The doctor says that the little girl is the motive, and they go to watch Man Guy's house.
She's got to be the key.
Yeah. Oh, and they need to send cops to watch Man Guy's house. He was like, I already have cops there. Faye sees knives in the kitchen and flashes back to her attack. Man Guy gets a duck call from another room in the house, and we see it's Faye. She hangs up the phone. He seems concerned and knows it's Faye. He goes upstairs and yells at her to stay out of Susie's room. She's waiting with a knife and stabs him. So is Susie their daughter, or is that his daughter with someone else?
So that's her daughter. Or sorry, that's his daughter with someone else. So he never shows up, and then the mom left for Brazil, I guess is how they kind of explain the mom's absence. And I guess this is just like a upstairs room,
an off limits room. Well, like she's not allowed to go
by
in there.
A lock, dude. If you have a secret layer that's accessible through just one stairwell, just get a lock. You know what I mean? It makes things so much easier when you're trying to
he's
is
a
also
little crazy, this guy.
But also, this is what's kind of fucked up too, is that up until this moment too, is that like he answers the phone, she answers the phone, she hears the duck call because he's talking with his daughter. But the way they have it shot, you almost feels like, did she just do the fucking duck voice?
I've absolutely thought that's what happened. That's him calling his daughter.
His daughter,
him answering the phone.
He answered the phone because his daughter called him, and he responded in the duck
voice
that he.
I did not get that either time.
Yeah,
I thought
that's when she's like, "What the fuck?" Because she realizes
that was supposed to be her calling the duck voice to him. Because
no, but it's shot that way though. Like that's the intent, is for you to up until the last moment not know honestly who.
But I still never got that. Even I guess when it's supposed to be revealed.
No, it's
but that does
make
the phone calls sadder later.
Oh yeah.
And it was already sad. He chases her upstairs to out of Susie's room, and then she's standing there waiting with a knife and stabs him twice before he falls down the stairs. So why though? Now I'm thinking back to when they're so happy and in love, he leaves and she like looks to the stairs dramatically. Why would she know a room is there to even open?
Well, because she knows about Susie. What's her name? Susie, right?
Oh yeah, because of the things I said about Susie. So she just got serious because she wanted to. My
daughter got super sick. We never come to visit her. Just stay out of her room. It's a sore subject for me.
She's like, all right, well, that first thing I'm going to do is check it out.
Snoop. I'm going to go snoop in that room.
He falls down the stairs. She slowly walks down the stairs and past him. He gets up and attacks her in the duck voice. He says she's just like all the rest. This was when I thought, when we found out he also did a duck voice, or I thought this was the real duck voice and the first one was fake. Whatever. But he quickly gets shot in the face. Cool, practical.
Dude, this fucking oh my god, just the side of his fucking this fake head just and it's like through his, it's like under his eyeball, like through his fucking cheek teeth. It's like ugh.
Now the doctor, lieutenant, and Faye drive away and summarize everything that happened. The sick girl calls for her dad, but there's no answer. Finn.
So sad. God damn it. Every time I watch this, I'm like, oh, fuck. Oh, God.
Her waiting for the...
Yeah. And it's also, man, there's a few points of the duck face killer that I don't quite understand. Where it's like the idea of him murdering women because his daughter will never become a woman. It's like...
it's whack.
It's yeah, it's just like sexually active women. Yeah, I think that gets a kind of, and people probably just let me know just hit us up. Let us know what your opinion is on it. But like, I don't know. I feel it's a little too convoluted where I'm like, dude, just have it. I don't know. That was a little. I feel like weird.
A lot of all the stuff I've watched from Fulci is pretty loosey-goosey with stuff.
Well, it's this weird one where like I would have even liked, and not liked, that's not the right choice of words, but like if she had a disease through like a blood transfusion that wound up being like fucking syphilis or an STD that fucking caused her organs to fail. So like he hates sexually active women because of like, you know what I mean? Like that would make
my daughter's never going to get to have sex, so you can't have sex either.
Yeah, that's kind of the point. Yeah. Where I'm like, oh, whoa, bro. I know you're a physicist, but like, God damn, that's a really weird... That's a weird A to B,
Absolutely.
Bro.
So I have one more IMDb behind the scene here before we can move on. So you talked about this being a non-supernatural Fulci film.
Yes.
There's a fan theory that the hospitalized daughter of the movie's killer is actually the film's true antagonist, and that she is using psychic powers to control her father and make him murder and torture innocent women out of jealousy. This is backed up by two things. Near the end of the movie, while Peter Bunch, who is the man guy, is about to kill a woman, he yells, "You women are all the same, young, beautiful, healthy, while I have to rot to death in bed at a stinking hospital."
Okay.
Which is an unusual thing to say, considering it is actually his daughter who is dying in the hospital, not the father himself. Lucio Fulci also previously directed The Black Cat, which came out a year before The New York Ripper, which means he had 3 movies come out in 81 at least.
Damn.
And that movie tells the story about a man with psychic powers to make a black cat kill a bunch of people out of revenge. So he's done something like that before. So just a fun one that I thought I'd,
Kill
keep
for
and
me,
tack on
Daddy.
at the end here.
Yeah, kind of a little almost like Pamela Voorhees, kind of like kill for me, mommy.
But then got him killed in the end, didn't it?
It did. It really did.
All right, do you have any final thoughts?
Wowza.
Yeah, that works. All right, let you and I take a quick break, but hopefully the listener sticks right around because it'll feel like nothing for you.
Whoop.
Here we are. I told you it'd feel like nothing. So let's get to the questions for the night. How would we survive this one? We're men.
Yeah, as shitty as that sounds out loud, this is a predator of female movies.
That's one of the other things with a lot of slashers is the victims aren't exclusively women and they're not having their private parts slashed up.
Yes. But hypothetically speaking, if we were women in New York at the time, I mean, God, I don't know. I mean, because like, I think the most dangerous part about the New York Ripper is that Peter, is Peter, right? Yeah, he is
man guy.
Yeah, man guy. He's sociable. He's smart. He's intelligent. He is a
Right, but once he is attacking you, he's talking like a duck.
True. But at that time, he's also got a knife out. He's going to stab you. And also with
Well, that's exactly what I was going to say is if I'm a woman living in New York at this time, I have multiple weapons that I carry on me everywhere I go.
It's true.
It doesn't matter if this guy's on the loose. Just have you seen it?
Have you fucking seen New York?
Have you seen the state of the place? I got pepper spray. I got my own knife. I might have a gun. I would have a gun. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. Like this is the straight up. Yeah, you're in the belly of the beast.
Yeah. So due to that, I think that I could take him out. as long as I'm not, too taken off guard. If I have time to get my gun out of my handbag.
I don't know. I mean, for me, it's a 50-50 shot. You know what I mean? Because like after I've performed live sex and then get to my dressing room, I'm not going to have weapons on me. So this is going to be straight hand-to-hand combat.
Sure. So what if you're just in a car,
just hanging out in a car
to write shit?
To write shit. It's again 50-50 shot. You know what I mean? Like if he gets me right in the vitals, he's a physicist. Not that he knows anatomy, but yeah, I would say a 50-50 shot because I mean it's the almost like Ted Bundy-ish, charismatic, like sociable, highly intelligent, and then you know what I mean? Like it lulls you into a false sense of security, and I think that's like one of the most dangerous things. I mean, obviously, besides the duck screaming while he's doing the attacking, the lead up to that seems pretty sane. So
I wish I had like pulled up a slasher timeline to see where this came out. I know it was during the boom, but where exactly were we? Because this is bonkers. This Ross, how you make the film gooier? Do you make it gooier?
God, I don't know.
The guy who always does
wants more goo. Yeah. This is one of the rare instances I don't think it needs to be gooier. I think that with Fulci, I think you get it and you get a lot more than you bargain for in a good. I mean, it's a Fulci film, and then you're like, okay, this is gonna have an excessive amount of gore. I'd leave it as is, honestly, because I think anything past this point would get almost like Tokyo Gore Police, like it would be comedic in the level, like.
Well, I can see where you're going with that, but his style of gore is never going to be. I mean, the style of gore in Tokyo Gore Police is cartoonish,
Yes. Yeah.
But I get the sentiment.
Mm-hmm.
Villain level 1 through 10, power level and iconography. So iconography, I'm going to let the voice be the iconography.
Okay. Yeah.
Because there's no just when it's revealed, you just see a regular guy. There's also, no like
exactly. Well, this is also kind of like the giallo version of because leading up with contemporary slashers, there's like a mask or like once we get into the mask kick, this one doesn't. It's just a psychopath with a knife. So yeah, I agree. It's almost kind of like the one you don't like. It's kind of like Billy from Black Christmas. You know what I mean? You don't see him. You just hear the fucking voice. So
right. Yeah. And for that, I mean, I'll probably give it a 5.
Yeah. I was doing the same. It's pretty fucking
iconic and memorable. You know what I mean? Once you've seen this movie, you are always going to remember the duck voice.
Oh, absolutely.
Power level 1, regular human. Maybe 1.5 for if you think the intelligence gives them that much of an advantage, but no higher than that.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
All right, so 6.5. Call it a 6.25.
That sounds fair.
Should it have a sequel? What is your sequel?
Ooh,
Faye's quacking now. Well, it's got to turn out to be her.
You know what? Honestly, I was going to say the exact same thing. I think the illogical conclusion to the sequel would be that Faye set this whole thing in motion. And you find it out at the end where like there's an investigative reporter just doing like an expose on the duckface killings. And then by their research find way more shit into like phase past.
Or
and by
do the fan theory and the little girl does have psychic powers and was killing people and now she just uses somebody else.
The nurse that reads to her.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Pull a full Exorcist 3. That's great. All right. Yeah.
Would you buy the soundtrack or score on vinyl? I want to seek it out, but I'd pick it up, actually.
Oh, yeah, actually, yes. I would 100% own this. And I have to get the band, Fulci. The Duckface Killings is a fantastic death metal album, by the way. So, like, for sure, if you like that kind of stuff, check it out.
That kind of thing.
Yeah. But also
I've tried
the funk
listening
jazz
to them before. It didn't move the needle for me. But cool name.
Yeah. No, but I mean, like the funk jazz in this, like you could.
Yeah, I'm so into it.
You could almost accidentally slide this in soundtrack into like a house party. Like almost. I think so. Like a soiree. You know what I mean? Have it low.
I was gonna say it sounds like a stock version of a classic giallo soundtrack.
Oh,
but like you went to like a website and paid 99 cents for the songs.
Okay, yeah.
But it's fun. Like I would actually, if I had it, I would put it on. It wouldn't be one of those things that just you got never listened to.
Yeah, you're like, this slaps.
Yeah, it would be good, like cleaning the house music.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is anything action figure worthy? I'd take the dog with the hand, I guess. But
the dog
there's
with the
nothing
hand.
I particularly want.
Would it be terrible to have a giallo version of Operation and just have Kitty in the
That'd be gross.
That'd be real gross. It would be the duckface Operation. So you have to like.
If you want that, you can have that, Ross.
There you go.
What merch prop or promo item would you want from the film?
I would get the duck figurine from the hospital bed.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I want that too.
I think it embodies the character, like because the character's the voice. You actually nailed it. I mean, like honestly,
yes,
the character's the voice. So that would make me think of that. You know.
Mm-hmm. No, that's a good one. Doesn't take up much space. Isn't offensive.
Yes, because you get real offensive with some of the stuff you'd want to keep from this movie.
Although the eyeball prosthetic
would be pretty good.
Would be a good one too. Midnight showing.
Condoms. Just throwing condoms at the stage.
Yeah, you could throw condoms for sure. Feathers. I feel like there'd be a lot of quacking. Bring
rubber
duck calls.
duckies. Rubber duckies and
rubber
duck
duckies.
calls.
Yeah. Just really duck it out.
Yeah.
Wear no pants. Donald duck it out.
Donald duck it. That's
and
usually
popcorn bucket. Ross?
Oh, I mean, oh God, there's too many offensive ones. I would do honestly a duck, like a giant duck would be hilarious. You know what I mean? You could also do the hand.
The New York City skyline.
The New York City skyline would be great. Yeah. Or a broken bottle flipped upside down.
Oh,
with
yes, that's the one.
That's the one.
Bloody broken bottle.
Yeah.
Great. Well, with all that said and done, we can mosey on over to the ratings.
I only want your fingers.
Should we all cut our fingers open and bleed on it?
Can you wrap your fingers around this?
I'll take a Voorhees burger and a side of Jason's fingers.
Show them.
On this show, we like to use a rating of 0 to 5 fingers. Each finger represents a different quality about a movie. You can chop off 0 finger, half finger, quarter finger, no finger. It don't matter. However many parts, as long as it's in quarters that you like.
Yes.
These ratings are intended to be subjective on how we feel about the movie. Doesn't matter if it's a good or bad movie, cinema or sleaze. It's just, It's our vibes.
Yeah.
We're exploring what we like or dislike about the genre we love. Okay.
Okay. Sorry if you feel.
And we encourage you to please try out our scale. Rossi Poo, I'm gonna start with you, my dude.
All right. Man, engaging is gonna get the full 1. I'm engaged pretty much the entire time, kind of because of the time gaps and some of the logic train.
Because it's so jarring sometimes.
It is. It's just like ow. Sticky is gonna get. I think Sticky's gonna get a 0.75 for me. It's the gore, man. It's the iconic death scenes, the voice, just the fucking the voice is gonna be stuck in my brain forever. Unforgettable.
I'm really proud of us, by the way. We kind of had a stop and started recording before this, and then just started all over. And our duck voices, we're going hard on the duck voices.
Really good on that. Yes,
really. I think we did get it out of our system.
We sprinkled it through.
I was like, yeah, right.
Yeah, right. No. I think we sprinkled it throughout the episode, but for sure there was going to be a lot more from the first recording. Yeah, I think the only reason why it loses the 0.25 for me is because of the unexplained time jumps and how timey-wimey, loosey-goosey they kind of get with some of the plot and some of the other stuff like that. Because it's weird because I don't know if I'm forgetting it or it didn't exist. So with that, I'm like, okay, I have to kind of give T-Shirtable. T-Shirtable is absolutely going to get a 1. I mean, like there are.
Oh, wow.
It's. I think because the poster, I think it's just like
I think
a
that's
pretty
very
one.
Interesting.
Yeah. Because I think you can get away with. I mean, there are some like the gore is insanely brutal. You know what I mean? But you could probably get away with some kind of duck related T-shirt with this that would be a New York Ripper, and you would get the point across without having to be completely bonkers. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Cockles is gonna get the full 1 for me. It's an insane movie. It's an insane movie. And it's just it's brutal, but it's sleazy. It's just all of the I don't know. It's just the right combination for me. It's just a bonkers ride. Rewatchable though. Rewatchable is gonna get a 0.5 for me. I do enjoy this movie, but I think it is so fucking intense and the subject matter is so heavy and it's just not. You have to have a palate cleansing between viewings.
Yes, I would agree.
Like I felt a certain way having to watch this back to back for the pod. You know what I mean? Where I'm like, okay, all right, cool. I think I've had my fill of New York Ripper for the next X amount of time. You know what I mean? But that being said, though, if someone wanted like a giallo slashery kind of thing, this would be up there if I knew that they were cool with the level of sleaze and gore. You know what I mean? Like there is definitely an entry ticket for this. Like your audience before you recommend this movie.
Sure. So that gives you a 4.25 out of 5. How does that feel?
Honestly, it's a little higher than what I was thinking, but it's how I feel. You know what I mean? I think it's a 4.25 with room to grow. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So
a grower.
Ooh, not a shower.
Well, let's move on to my score. I do not think it will be so high.
It's okay. It makes sense because I recommended this movie to you.
Well, I wouldn't even say you recommended it. You were just like, this would fit. And I was like, great, let's do it.
Let's do this.
And I like covering movies that I don't like as well. You know what I mean? I'm exploring what I like or dislike.
Exactly.
Engaging. I'm going to give it a 0.75. It would have gone to a 0.5 if it weren't for the what the fuckness of it to keep me interested. Because, I just found on my first watch, rewinding it a few times, one, because of the what the fuck thing, but another because I don't know what they talked about just now. I got to bring it back. Sticky, I'm actually going to give a 1. Obviously, I'm not going to remember the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I'm never going to forget the duck voice. I think some of the kills will stay with me for a while. And the toe scene
is singed into your like subconscious.
It's
for
always
all
eternity.
There. It's always there.
And this movie, I'll always know that.
Yep.
T-shirtable is going to be a fat 0, even if it weren't for the toe scene. The level of sort of misogynist women killing in this movie, I could never wear a shirt for that. Like your reservations for that's why I was so shocked when you said it. I didn't want to bring it up. I was like thinking about your reservations for Perfect Blue, and Perfect Blue does not feel like a nasty, mean, misogynistic movie like this one does.
Yeah. It's weird. It's just such a great. I don't know. I like the
but
it's a mean New York
it falls
movie.
Yeah, it falls into this whole category. There's lots of movies like this. You know what I mean? It's
exploitation.
What was it? 42nd Street? Is that what it was?
Yeah. In
New York, where all the fucking like these types of movies played. It's a whole subgenre. So it's interesting. I just said that all that stuff with T-shirtable because Cockles, I think I'm gonna go 0.5 on because there's a lot I like about it.
Yeah.
And mostly because it's just so bonkers. Like that, I find that aspect very appealing.
Oh yeah. It's chaotic.
Yeah. But there's a lot that just
rubs you the wrong way.
Yeah. And then lastly, rewatchable, I'll put 0.25. I'm not against ever seeing this movie again, but I doubt I would ever watch it unless somebody else wanted to. So that puts me right down the middle, 2.5 out of 5, which is fine. I said I wasn't sure where I was going to land on this because there is stuff I like. And I thought maybe the stuff I disliked might bring this down into like the 2 range.
Yeah.
But I'm fine to give it a like sort of halfway, you know?
Yes.
And then we'll check out what the club has to say. And I know we did get some responses on this one. So the New York Ripper is coming from our Discord. Well, first, everybody was just talking about the movie for a while, but let's get to the reviews.
Yeah.
So this is Evan the Witchy Brethren off memory. He also has his own pod, Kilton the Redneck. You can check that out. He says engaging 0.25, sticky 0, t-shirtable 0.25, cockles 0.5, rewatchable 0.25. 1 1/4 finger in the grave. Sorry, Fulci, not this time, my man. I threw 2 fingers in a voice recorder at the midnight showing. That was pretty good. And so he's even lower than I am. Which is interesting because I know we get some positive ones in here too.
Oh, totally.
Up next, we have Sackhead Dave in the Discord. You can listen to his podcast, Journey with a Cinephile, and he's been on, I think that was the bird with the crystal plumage, actually.
Yeah.
So another giallo, if you want to keep listening to us talk about those. Or hear me one talk about I like. So he says, this is off sheer memory. Engaging 1, sticky 1, the Donald Duck voice is iconic. Hard agree. T-shirtable 0.5. I'd wear the poster as a shirt. I mean, if you were going to wear, I can see the poster as a shirt.
Yeah.
Cockles 1, good old sleazy Fulci. It's right there, the sleaze. Rewatchable 0.5. Feel dirty after watching, so not one I watch regularly.
Yep.
Totally. So after one watch a few years ago in the theater, four fingers in the grave, 4 out of 5, unless his math ain't mathin', but it is. So that's more on your side there. We each got 1. Let's see what Ricky has to say. Nightclub podcast, check them out. All these other podcasters chime in.
So
Engaging,
nice.
1. Weird and sleazy, sure is. Sticky, 0.5. Feel like the main thing I remember is all the weird sweaty stuff, so I'll just play footsie by myself. T-shirtable, 0.5. Plenty of giallo imagery and Fulci gore, so why not? Cockles, 1. Let's just say it rocks my quackles.
Rocks my quackles.
Rewatchable, 0.5. Fun enough to watch every few years, but I'm not as high on this one as I used to be, but definitely requackable. 3.5 on the Chuddle scale, 4 out of 5 on the nightclub scale. Sorry, Fulci, I can't give it a goddamn 10 right now. For a prop, I want the ducky, and for the hey, us too. And for the midnight showing, I'm gonna play footsie with whoever's crotch is next to me.
Oh my god!
And then Cronenberg didn't actually chime in, but he clearly loves this movie. What did he say? Well, I don't know if this was meant to be read on the pod, but he said, I watch this film when I have erectile issues. Sorts me right out. So,
oh, you dirty, dirty dog.
Yeah, to which my response was gross, and it went from there. We have fun. Join us.
Oh, God.
So that does it for this episode of the Chuddle Cod Movie Club meeting. Follow Chuddle the Pod on Instagram and Threads if you want to stay up to date with the podcast. Follow at Ross Purvis on Instagram if you want to see his tattoos. And if you're in the Central Florida area, go get a tattoo from him. I'm going to do that in 10 days.
Yeah, you are.
You can
We're gonna
follow.
get weird.
We are. You can follow me, Chuddle the Sam, or Brian, who's missing, Chuddle the Brian. That's Brian with a Y on Letterboxd. If you have any interest in and Ross now too at Chuddle the Ross.
Yes, I occasionally throw scores on there.
There you go. If you want to see what we're doing, what lists I'm making, because I love making lists.
Nuh-uh.
Be our friends on there if you'd like. If you want to participate in the show, be part of the Chuddle community, go ahead and jump in the Discord. Easiest way to do that is through the link in the show description. There's links to all that in the show description. And until next time, avoid the time loop.